The salt and sand and seaweed are everywhere at this point, stuck to every inch of both of you. Davy emerges from the wave with water streaming down his face, laughing so hard he can barely speak. "This isn't exactly the romantic dip I pictured," he gasps, spitting out a mouthful of salt water as another wave splashes over you both. "But I suppose it fits right in with our brand of chaos." His arms wrap around your waist, pulling you against him in the shallows. His laughter fades into a softer chuckle as he leans his forehead against yours. Davy's breath still hitches from laughter as the waves push gently against your legs, binding you together in the surf. His fingers trace nonsensical patterns along your lower back, salt water and sand be damned, as his gaze flickers between your lips and eyes, like he can't decide which he'd rather memorize first. "You know," he murmurs, voice rough with amusement and something warmer, "I think I'd let you drown me daily if it ended like this." A seagull cries overhead as if offended by the sentiment. Davy doesn't even flinch, just grins and steals a kiss salty enough to rival the sea itself. The kiss is so sudden and so salt-sodden that you sputter and laugh against his lips, hands instinctively clutching his sodden shirt for balance. You'll probably spend days rinsing the sand from your hair, and he'll be finding seashells in his pockets until Thanksgiving. But right now, drenched and ridiculous and utterly, hopelessly besotted, you can't remember ever being so happy. "You're an absolute lunatic," you murmur, shaking your head and smiling as yet another wave splashes them both. Davy presses his forehead to yours, still laughing softly as seawater drips from his lashes onto your cheeks. "Lunatic, am I?" His voice is warm and teasing, rough around the edges from laughter and salt water. "And here I was about to suggest we build a sandcastle kingdom together." His grin turns wicked as he leans in close enough for you to feel his breath against your lips. "But if you'd rather keep insulting me, love, by all means." He steals another kiss before you can retort. The tide charts its course around you both, like it's been waiting for this moment all along. You're thoroughly distracted by the taste of salt water and warmth and Davy, and it takes a few moments for you to remember to protest. "Sandcastle Kingdom, huh?" you murmur, trying and failing to sound annoyed. "You think that's going to sweet-talk me into forgetting you tried to drown me an hour ago?" The waves crash all around you. The sound like 100 tiny applause. His nose brushes against your cheek as he grins. "That depends. Is it working?" Davy tilts his head, feigning innocence. His fingers trail lazily along the bare skin at your waist, leaving trails of salt water that mingle with the goosebumps rippling across your skin. "It's not my fault the sea's jealous of anyone who gets to touch you," he murmurs, eyes twinkling with affection and mischief. "Why do you think it keeps splashing at us whenever I get you in my arms?" He pulls you a little closer as another wave crashes against your legs. "The ocean's just trying to separate us, love," he teases. Davy grins as you roll your eyes, his arms tightening around your waist in the shallows. All right, no more metaphors stolen from bad romance novels," he concedes, pressing a quick kiss to your temple before releasing you with dramatic flair. Instead, he scoops up a handful of wet sand and begins molding it with exaggerated care. "Behold, the beginnings of Castle Devona." He pauses to flick a bit of seaweed off the lopsided structure, "which will either be our legacy or look like a seagull's breakfast by high tide." His grin is pure sunshine as he pats the sad little mound. "Place your bets." Somewhere down shore, an actual seagull eyes his creation with alarming interest. The sandcastle is the saddest piece of coastal construction you've ever laid eyes on. It more closely resembles a particularly pathetic lump of sand than any recognizable building, let alone a legacy for future beachgoers. Davy's beaming at it like it's the finest castle money can buy, completely oblivious to its flaws. Even the seagull nearby looks unimpressed with the shoddy craftsmanship. You can't help but bite your lip to keep from laughing. "It's very charming," you manage. Davy gasps dramatically, pressing a hand to his chest as if you've wounded him. "Charming, charming!" He gestures wildly at the lopsided sand structure. "This is avant-garde architecture, a bold statement against traditional coastal oppression. A rogue wave chooses that moment to obliterate Castle Devona in one merciful swoop. Davy stares at the now flattened sand for a beat before turning to you with puppy-dog eyes. Our legacy lasted a whole 30 seconds. That's got to be some kind of record. The seagull, clearly done with this nonsense, swoops down and steals what remains of their abandoned pina colada umbrella mid-flight, leaving nothing but salt water and laughter between you two as the sun dips below the horizon. You're laughing so hard you can barely breathe, clinging to Davy's arm to keep from pitching face first into the surf. 30 seconds, you sputter, wiping salt water from your eyes. You have an optimistic definition of legacy, love. Davy pretends to wince, clutching his chest again in a perfect mockery of earlier dramatic poses. A broken heart and a shattered legacy, he sighs, shaking his head mournfully. Today is truly a day of tragedies for me. The setting sun casts long shadows across the beach, painting his laughing eyes golden. You shake your head, still snickering as another wave crashes against your knees. A tragedy indeed, you echo, patting Davy sympathetically on the back. Maybe next time you'll build something made of sturdier materials. Davy huffs indignantly at that, scooping up another handful of sand. Are you doubting my construction skills? I thought you had more faith in me, love. He pouts at you, eyes dancing with familiar mischief. And here I was, thinking I'd won you over with my devastating charm and good looks. You roll your eyes, pretending to sigh like a put-upon damsel. Devastating charm, yes, you muse, tracing patterns in the damp sand with your toe. Good looks? You pause, eyeing him up and down like you're sizing him up for a part. That one's up for debate. Davy gasps, feigning offense as he leans against your shoulder with a melodramatic slump. A debate, he murmurs, voice all hurt, puppy-dog eyes. I'm wounded, love. I thought I looked my very best with soggy hair. He pouts up at you, all wide eyes and dripping curls, and you have to fight another fit of laughter. I think soggy is a generous term, you retort, poking him in the ribs. Try seaweed-encrusted creature of the deep. He grins at that, grabbing your wrist and tugging you into his arms once more. Perhaps I should just give up on sandcastles, he muses, pulling you flush against him. I'm clearly not cut out for construction work. My talents lie elsewhere, milady. You pretend to consider this for a moment, resting your chin in one hand as you tap your finger against your lips. You hum, eyes twinkling. And what, exactly, are these talents? Davy's grin widens as he pulls you closer, arms sliding around your waist like a warm embrace. Well, he murmurs, dipping his head to press a kiss to your cheek, let me show you. His lips brush feather light along your skin, tracing a trail from your chin to your ear, starting with a display of my unparalleled, award-winning charm. Davy's lips hover near your ear, his breath warm against your skin despite the cooling evening air. His fingers trace nonsense patterns along the small of your back, half ticklish, half electric, as he murmurs, also starring. A pause for dramatic effect as his other hand lifts to tuck a wind-blown strand of hair behind your ear. World-class cuddling abilities. The remaining pina colada ice cubes melt forgotten nearby as the last rays of sunlight gild his ridiculous, beautiful face. You try and fail to keep a bemused smile from spreading across your face, raising a skeptical eyebrow at his bold claim. World class, you echo, trying and failing to sound unimpressed. That's quite the grand title for cuddling. Do you have any proof to back up this claim, Mr. Jones? He grins at that, all warm eyes and easy confidence, and you have a feeling he's playing this game to win. Oh, my dearest, dearest Donna, he declares, pulling you forward into a tight embrace. I have much more. Davy tucks your head under his chin with an exaggerated sigh, arms tightening around your waist. Proof, you ask? He brushes a kiss against your temple, his voice low and warm and utterly ridiculous. How about this? I bet you £100. He grins as you scoff, pulling back to look you in the eye. That I can make you melt completely in the next hour. Your skepticism falters, replaced by intrigue. That confident, you tease, already feeling your heart flutter at the look in his eyes. His eyes are dancing, full of warmth and laughter and something deeper. He grins, the sort of cocky, self-assured smile that says he has absolutely no intention of losing. Completely, he repeats, pressing another kiss to your forehead. And you know you want to test me, love. So, do we have an agreement? He holds up a sand-encrusted hand expectantly, waiting for you to shake on it. You hesitate for just a beat, just long enough to see the challenge spark in his eyes, before clasping his sandy hand with your own. Oh, you're on, Jones, you declare, even as your traitorous heart does a ridiculous little flip at the way his fingers thread through yours. Davy grins like he's already won, tugging you closer as another wave crashes against your legs. The sun sinks lower behind him, painting the ocean in gold and pink as he murmurs, "Prepare to be thoroughly defeated, darling." Somewhere far off, a seagull cackles like it knows something we don't.